What's going on, YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about Nightwing issue number 102. This one's written by Tom Taylor, art by Travis Moore, and of course, there's also the backup storyline, which we'll get to as well. This issue of Nightwing, or you could pretty much just call it Titans issue 1, or precursor to Tom Taylor's Titans run. Issue 1, because that's basically what this issue is. It's a Titans issue with the title Nightwing on there. I guess it's setting the stage for the Titans book, or just giving you a little taste of what's to come. And if this is a taste of what's to come, it's going to probably be okay at best. This storyline, or this particular issue, it deals with the fallout of the last issue where we had that doppelganger knock out Nightwing and go off with Starfire and Raven to the girl Olivia, who Neron is after her soul because Blockbuster apparently sold her soul, which, how the hell can you sell somebody else's soul? Isn't that their choice to sell their soul? How does he have power to sell his daughter's soul? That's not really clear-cut and explained. I just figured, that's kind of the whole point, is you're giving up your soul. That's part of the contract. How can you give up somebody else's soul? How do you have power over that? Were they put in a threatening situation? All right, daughter, you have to give this up for me. It just doesn't really make much sense. But anyways, so they come in, they fight the shapeshifter guy. This shapeshifter, who's in the form of Nightwing, is probably one of the weakest villains I think I've ever seen, because literally everybody kicks his ass. I mean, yes, he knocked out Nightwing, he knocked out Beast Boy when they weren't looking, but he gets he gets beaten up by Nightwing. Even the little girl Olivia beats him up. Then he gets proceeded to get beaten up by Cyborg, Starfire, and Raven for the most part. Don Troy comes in, Wally West is in there, beats him up too. This guy kind of sucks as a villain. He's very lackluster. I mean, if this is who Neron's supposed to send, really, really underwhelming. And that's kind of one of my complaints about the Nightwing book as of late. Everything feels so low stakes and just beaten so easily. It's really underwhelming. I don't feel any suspense or stakes in any of the stories because it's so lighthearted. And again, after the Rick Grayson stuff, we needed a nice little palate cleanser, but this book's been going on for quite a while now, and I just want to feel stakes. I want to feel Nightwing kind of struggle. I want to see some intensity with the stories, but it's so lighthearted. And again, that works in some ways, but at the same time, it's so nothing there's no suspense anymore. It's so underwhelming. I don't feel any stakes. I don't feel nothing because everyone just kind of comes in and just beats every villain so easily. And other story bits are held on hold, like the Heartless thing, which we're on Nightwing 102 and we still aren't done with Heartless. Now we're doing this Titans thing. This should have been saved for the Titans book. Why is this in the Nightwing book right now? Oh, the Titans are going to replace the Justice League because after Dark Crisis, what we need is the Justice League to go away, even though they help to end the threat together. I don't know. It's kind of lackluster. So the next issue teases that they're going straight to hell to find this contract and I guess rip it up. I don't know how that's supposed to work, but Raven's we're going to hell. We're going to take care of this thing. Okay, Raven, we'll see how that turns out for you. They'll probably go to hell. It'll be the most underwhelming hell you can think of. And they're going to just take out everyone pretty quickly. So that's my prediction for the next issue of Nightwing, because heaven forbid we have actual tension in these stories anymore. It's gonna be so easy. You know what it is? It's like when you go back and play a video game on New Game Plus at the start of it after you have all the upgrades and the enemies at level 1 are just so underwhelming and easy to beat. Or say you're playing Pokemon and you know how when you first start leveling up, let's say you're going old school, Pokemon Red, Yellow, Blue version. That tells you how old I am at this point. But it's you're starting in Palatown, right? And then you go to the end of the game, right? Further on, you got your Pokemon leveled up all the way. Then you go back to Palatown, and then when you're going through the grass shrubbery or whatever, some Pokemon show up and they're all level 1 and stuff. That's what it's like with this thing. It's just you have all these higher level characters and you're going back to face level 1 opponents. Can we get something? Now if it were just Nightwing on his own, okay, you might have something, but having all the Titans here, which by the way, aren't there other threats going on at the same time? It is what it is. But yeah, like I said, I found it kind of underwhelming. It's too easy. Story's moving a little bit slow. The artwork is quite good. It's not downright awful or anything, but I'm just if this is what the Titans book's going to be, I don't know, because like and the thing is, I may be crapping on some of this stuff right now with what Taylor's doing with this book, but there is another book that I read today, which I'll be covering in the video right after this one, that was quite good, but a little bit rushed. It's like the total opposite problem. We'll get to that in a second. And then the backup storyline written by C.S. Pacat. It's Nightwing and Superman, and it's basically just Dick teaching John about detective work and trying to get to the bottom of things, and then eventually comes to the conclusion that the person who cut the line is one of the trapeze artists. So yeah, like I said, it's an interesting ending. It's very quick, but like I said, it's at least something. And the backup is a little bit more interesting because we're actually seeing Dick teach John a little bit more of the detective side, investigative side, like, you know, John's parents are. Because let's not forget, John isn't just the son of Superman, he's the son of Lois Lane, one of the greatest investigative journalists in the history, probably the best investigative journalist in all of DC Comics. I can't think of anyone better, but that's what I mean. So, issue 1 or 2 of Nightwing, I was all right, I suppose. Like, I'm not angry by it, but I'm just kind of underwhelmed. I'm at the point with this book where it's like, yeah, I like some light fluff in that too, but I want a little bit more than that. I want things to be a little bit more of a challenge for Dick Grayson, because I just feel like Dick Grayson has had no challenges really on his own. Like, I can't think of anything. And I want to wrap up the Heartless storyline, which we've pushed aside so much. I don't get it. It's like there's 2 Tom Taylors, right? You have this like main universe Tom Taylor, and then you have Elseworlds Tom Taylor. And the Elseworlds stuff is really, really good. And then the main universe stuff has glimpses of that. And it's just kind of like, where I want Elseworlds Tom Taylor to be writing main universe stuff, because it just seems like there's more focus. I feel the stakes in the stories more. Granted, those are Elseworlds, so I understand main universe. Sometimes you can't always have that. But I don't know. It's just those stories just move at a much quicker pace, sometimes a little too quick. With these storylines, with the main universe, just drags and drags and drags. At this point, can we just get through the Heartless stuff and maybe then go to this thing? But I'm annoyed because we've had something that's been going on since, what was it, Nightwing 78, and we're still not done with it. Like, come on, man. Like, can we get to that and finish that up, then do this whole Titans thing and add a little bit more stakes, make the opponents feel a little bit more threatening? Because this is just a bunch of like world champions going up against a jobber. So there you go. As you can tell, I'm a little bit more nasty towards this issue. I don't hate it or anything like that. Maybe you'll like it. It's, like I said, it's very lighthearted. There's a few nice character moments, but this villain just kind of was lame. Everyone kicked his ass. Even the little kid did, who they're trying to protect. So why send this guy? It's like sending Conor McKean to go up against Darkseid. It doesn't make any sense. So there you go. Those are my quick thoughts on it. I wasn't a huge fan of this particular issue. Maybe you will be. Let me know in the comment section down below. So there you go. That's all I got to say. Next up, I'm going to be talking about DC's War of the Undead Gods, issue number 7 of 8, which that's a storyline which should be dragged out a little bit further because they got 1 issue left, and I don't know how they're going to wrap everything up in this whole series in 1 issue, like, because there's still so many other like things going on. It's like, are we ever going to get answers to that? But I'm going to be ahead of myself. I'll talk about that in the next video. So post your comments down below, like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content, and as always, take care now. Bye bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.